Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Eachine US65 UK65 65mm Whoop FPV racing drone supplied courtesy of Banggood.com. Now this is a bind and fly version and comes with either FR Sky or Fly Sky, and I've got the FR Sky version. Comes in this basic box, and if we open it, this is the UK65 painted with the Union Jack colors, and the US65 comes with the American flag colors. A really nice concept. I think it's very attractive, and really looking forward to getting this Union Jack in the air. This also has similar specifications to the UAV UR65. Comes with a Crazy Bee F3 FC with Betaflight 3.4, and the target is Crazy Bee 3FR. It also has 4-in-1 6-amp D-Shot 600 ESCs and a 700 TVL 120-degree field of view AIO camera with a 25 milliwatt 40-channel VTX including race band, and this is adjustable as well. So basically this is the first one-cell Whoop FC with a combined receiver, 4-in-1 ESC, built-in OSD and current sensor. This also has these little SE0603 19,000 kV brushless motors, these 3-blade 31mm props that actually push on like a brushed motor, so it's not fastened on, and has a 0.8mm hole to fit onto the shaft. You can see our 2.4 GHz antenna out the top here, a little bit flexible, so it should be quite durable. Not much space between the ducts and the tips of the props. Props have a nice pitch on them, and future versions of this will also be coming out with 4-blade propellers as an option too. Underneath, now with this we get 3 LiPo batteries, 3.8 volt 250 mAh 40C batteries that just slot in on the bottom here, and even this has come with colors on it and flags. And this has 3 speeds. It has acro, air and angle, and also has a flip function where you can use the switches and gimbal sticks on your radio controller to flip it over if it ends up upside down. And you can also adjust the OSD inputs with the sticks on your radio controller too. We also get this instruction manual on a glossy piece of paper. Giving us the FC board specs and connections, charging the LiPo battery, direction of the motors, Betaflight configurations and settings, the VTX and channel setup, and how to bind to a radio controller. And then this is also very good. We get a battery charging plate. It doesn't come with a power adapter, but it's recommended to use a 12 volt 3 amp power adapter, or you can use a LiPo battery with an XT60 plug like this one here to charge it. So this is great. Can also be charged in the field, and also has a USB adapter here too. So nice to see a digital display. So we've got two connections. This MCPX connection, which is the type of connection that these 250 mAh batteries have, and then also a little MCX connection, and you can switch between the two by flicking this switch upwards. That one's up there, shouldn't be. And then this is to adjust the amperage. Then goes from 0.2 amps up to 0.6. But yeah, you just need to leave it at 0.2 to charge these batteries. Here are the other two batteries that come with it. And we get 4 spare tri-blade propellers, a star Phillips screwdriver, a prop removal tool, and a couple of rubber bands, and a couple of spare screws. I can see 2 small ones here, spare one for the cover. And yeah, I think these rubber bands might be a bit useful because the battery is really loose, so need to try and secure it a bit better. I think I'll just put something around these two things underneath here, with a tape or something, and then it should hold it better in position. If I get the box out of the way, let's have a look and see what charge these batteries have come in at. I'm just going to plug them in. I'm not sure how much flying time we'll get off of these 250 mAh batteries. They are 3.8 volts and 40C. I think if we could get about 3 minutes flying time, it should be good. Just plug this battery in here. Okay, so we get channel 1 is at 3.93, channel 2 at 3.95, channel 3 at 3.92. So quite charged. Then it's telling us channels 4, 5 and 6, although there's nothing in it and lights are flashing there. And obviously the total amperage there. So I'm going to leave it just to charge up. And let's have a look under the hood here. And then let's have a look. The bind button should be over here. Doesn't really look like a button, just looks like a little metal flap. But we'll see soon enough. USB port to plug into Betaflight is nicely positioned underneath here. And then plug-in motors, which is always good, rather than having it soldered onto the FC board. And the camera, let's just take the camera off as well. There's a screw on either side that also needs to be removed. is removed. And if we try and have a look at the camera, there's canopy in the way here. There we go, that's better. Then we got a button on the top here to adjust bands and channels. No LED display. You see the VTX on the back here. And then there should be lights here that indicate which band and which channel here. But when it's on and in here, that will be difficult to see. But there's quite a bit of space at the back here, so should be able to peep through and see, and then also possibly be able to depress the button from behind here. And try and get this camera back in somehow. Here we go, and then it fits back in like this. So let's just have a look from the back. Not too easy to reach that button to change the bands and the channels. So I'm going to leave the hood off for now before I try and bind. So it'll be easier with the hood loosened. So now before I bind to my Taranis QX7 radio control transmitter, I'm going to connect this to Betaflight and see what the settings are that come with it, because according to the instructions I might have to make some changes before I can bind it with the radio controller. Connect it up to Betaflight, so the first thing I'm going to do is back up the CLI. So we do a dump. And copy all of this, and we can see that we've got Crazy Bee 3FR, Betaflight, version 3.4.0, July the 8th, 2018. And paste it in here. And what I also like doing, go out of this here, just waiting for it to connect again. And just do a backup. Eachine UK65 default. And save. Okay, so let's go and have a look at ports. USB VCP enabled, UART 3, we're on TBS Smart AUK. Configuration, Quad X, D-Shot 600, got motor stop on default. I actually prefer having the motor spinning, so I'm going to change that. Got gyro update frequency at 8 kHz and pit loop frequency at 2 kHz. Maximum angle in degrees is 25. Got the craft name as UK65. Then yeah, I've got to make sure it says SPI RX support. So don't enable serial RX here because it's integrated in the SPI bus receiver. Here we got FR Sky X. Now FR Sky X is if you're going to connect on 16 channels, but because I've got the European LBT version, I've got to connect on D8. So I'm going to select FR Sky D. Save and reboot. Okay, that's it reconnected. Let me go back to the configuration again and make sure the changes have been saved. So yes, that's all fine there. Then other features, we've got telemetry, we've got OSD enabled. in all of these under beeper configuration, which I'll just leave all as enabled. Have we got anything else on the right here? No. Look at power and battery. Those are the settings there. So warning cell voltage is at 3.5 and maximum 4.3. 3, okay, that's fine. Let's have a look at the PIDs. These are the default PIDs, and I'm going to leave it with the default PIDs. See how it goes first. Okay, receiver, let me have a look. Okay, my radio controller's not connected, but it's on TAER 1234. Look at the default mode. So auxiliary 1, although I haven't set it up yet, is arm and disarm. Then we got angle mode on auxiliary 2. Flip over after crash on auxiliary 3. So I need to connect up. Okay, so let me try and bind with the radio controller. Okay, so I've got my Serenus QX7 set up ready to bind. Okay, so I'm just going to plug a battery in for power here. And then to bind, press the bind button. But I actually think this is the bind button here. So I've got to press and hold this for 2 seconds. 1001, 1002. Then light should go solid. Let me try that again. Press and hold the bind button down here. 1001, 1002. Lights go solid. Press bind on the radio controller. Lights start flashing. Stop the bind process. Lights go solid. And that should be a bound. We just remove the battery. I've still got it plugged into USB, so that's all okay there. So now let me just set up the switches on the radio controller and we'll come back to this. Okay, got the switches set up. So if I just check, yeah, I'm on arm disarm, speed. So yeah, I should be at angle here. I want angle in this first sector. Where's air mode? Here. I want to add the range here. Put air mode there. And acro, anti-gravity. Add range here. Just check the flip button. Yeah, that's right there. Just check, motors should all be fine. Let's have a look at OSD. So we got RSSI value. Okay, this is only compatible for NTSC. So I've got to put it onto NTSC. I prefer metric, which is fine. Just save that. Got voltage, crosshairs, timers, fly mode, craft name, current draw, MAH draw, warnings, disarm. I'm going to leave the settings as it is. Finally go back to CLI again, dump, and back up the saved settings to CLI. Okay, got a battery connected. Now I just want to have a look at this camera here and see what the settings are like. If I have a look now, it looks as though it's on channel C1. So quick press is going to change the channels. I'm going to put it back there, but I want to change it to band B. So I'm going to long press, another long press, another long press, another long press, and then I should be on B1. And let me just check, and while I've got a battery plugged in, yes, it's arming and the motors want to spin. Let me just put this camera back and fasten up the hood again. Okay, so this is the canopy back on and the camera connected and back in position again. Now, as you can see over here, when the batteries are finished charging, light goes off. So this is the battery I was using that I plugged in just to charge up properly. So with these ones, I can just remove these two batteries now and leave that one charging. Now I'm just going to get an FPV monitor and they're going to check and see and make sure it's connected to FPV. Okay, that's a TV monitor powered on. I'm going to connect up the battery on the quad here now. Okay, and I'm just going to auto search. Okay, picked it up on E1. That's good there. Okay, so now to get into the OSD menu, here, you put the lever up here, press up here and across here, and here we are in the OSD menu. You can navigate down like this. Let me try and get a better view. So yeah, here we can see profile. Go right stick and see the pit profile. And go to pits, miscellaneous, volts, rates, then select back, look at features and the options here. Go to the ISD now, which is the main one. You can have a look at battery voltage, battery usage, and everything like that. Not quite sure how we're going to get out of this now. I go right through the menu and select back again. And then if we make any changes, just make sure we save and exit here. And back into the main menu. So that's how to navigate through the OSD menu and settings using the sticks on the radio controller. Just want to check that it's all fine and ready to go. Disarm. And yes, I need to secure this battery, so I'll just put some cardboard or paper in underneath here to secure the battery better. And now let's take it out and see how it performs. Let's raise the flag. We're going to arm. Got it in angle mode. Take off. Okay, so just going to keep it close by. Looks very good. Little punch out. Just going to see how much flying time we're going to get. Line of sight. Maneuvering very well. Really maneuvers nicely as well. Recovers well. Says land now. I'm going to come into land. It flies very nicely, responds very well. Can only get a sort of maximum flight time of about 2.5 minutes on the 250 mAh battery. Do need to try and secure the battery a little bit better because it moves and affects the performance a bit. The tri-blade seemed okay, but I will try it as well with 4 blades and see if it's any better. The video seemed fine. Didn't notice any lag on the FPV. A really nice little micro racer. And the flag hoisted for UK.